Uh-huh. Think about it. This is Come on. J.P. Banks. I gotta think about it before I send them on their way. Trying to keep my niggas paid with no accolades. This is not the time or place for me to catch a case. Fill it with that pressure, only so much I can take. I gotta think about it before I send them on their way. Trying to keep my niggas paid with no accolades. This is not the time or place for me to catch a case. Fill it with that pressure, only so much I can take. We got it, smoking name. Boy, I can't prep it. Square boy, coat the same color, timber nugget. In the under bucket, niggas swerving like fuck it. Got the squeeze on me, they don't wanna get the busty. They ain't saying nothing while I'm dusting off the rubbish. Money side, west side, the music got the love it. When you see I'm thugging, they ain't thinking repercussion. Homie, you ain't ballin' if you still got the budget. Playing with the product, and you see him get the bucket. Grown ass man got the plan for you touch it. Take it 30 grand, round the trip across the country. If we ain't money bags, nigga, we ain't got discussion. Ain't playing with these niggas when I'm really on the something. Motivation keep me in compliance with the company. Shorty on the swag, she can do some things for me. I'm from the dub, baby, can't rain on them. Gotta think about it before I send them on their way. Trying to keep my niggas paid with no accolades. This is not the time or place for me to catch a case. Fill it with that pressure, only so much I can take. I gotta think about it before I send them on their way. Trying to keep my niggas paid with no accolades. This is not the time or place for me to catch a case. Fill it with that pressure, only so much I can take. We gotta procrastinate. Wasting all your time and missing blessings. Before you get in the street, best come home and get to your lesson. First make sure you hit them where it hurt. You gotta hit in the right spot. I guarantee that gonna stay. I know you think about it. We live the lifestyle you see in your dream. Tell your soul to make a buck and still can't live within your means. Riding in a beamer, sitting on 20 and always 17. Every day you keep them clean and your girl look like baby. So think about it. Yes, it's shit be Cali or Seattle. Tell me what your poison is and watch me whip like slave master. 31, they was passing robbing, you can get dope. If you got enough to two, then on the boss, I told you, bro, you think about it. Nothing lasts forever. Blood to get in water, that's why families stick together. You stole change from me when I would've gave you better. I'm banking in the streets, me and you could've robbed to tell them no more. Think about it before I send them on their way. Trying to keep my niggas paid with no accolades. This is not the time or place for me to catch a case. Fill it with that pressure, only so much I can take. I gotta think about it before I send them on their way. Trying to keep my niggas paid with no accolades. This is not the time or place for me to catch a case. Fill it with that pressure, only so much I can take. We gotta make no mistake, I'm all for the creamy butter. I'm back in the hood, I'm not your ordinary brother. Got me like a neutral, cause I never chose a color. But it's all tinted, we can see you on the top. 48 is what they got, and then it's over. Make the rubber burn, leave a trail of aroma. Making sure you sober, or you adding to that quota. Wishing every day my brody made it out this coma. Thinking over time, we lost another fallen soldier. Bitch, for a top, keep it silent like a boulder. Watching in the street, you see the faces playing poker. All I think about is island water and mimosas. Got to keep me focused, so I'm striking like a cobra. So please keep me away from all the shady ass promoters. I don't wait for nothing, heavy weights on my shoulders. Everything is legal, we ain't worried about you rollers, boy.
When was the last time y'all heard a hip hop song that didn't have bitches, hoes, or anything about drugs in it? Because I know it's been a long time since I've heard a song by black men that didn't have bitches and hoes in it. Somebody said no free promotion here. Coconut Drive, let them keep their little raggedy pages up. They're troll pages. Cherry said 1992. She said 1992 is the last. It's the last time. Listen, okay, listen. First of all, I just want to apologize to the entire Black community for the current state that we're in. You know, I'm just going to say this in all genuineness: when you know better, you do better, okay? And if I would have knew my edges were this important, I would not have been withholding edges from everyone. I had no idea that my edges had such a powerful impact on the Black community. I'm learning, okay? So on behalf of so from the bottom of my heart and from every single strand of hair etched into my edges, I apologize, really. I apologize to everybody for the destruction my edges has apparently caused. Again, with great edges come great responsibility. And I just simply did not know that my edges were so important. And for the ladies in the chat room, you know, when you come into the realization that your edges are important too, you'll probably manage them better. You'll probably completely deal with your edges better once you realize just how important your edges are. Because this is something I didn't know. Really Incredible said, so is your yes, Miss Feminista, apparently my edges is Thanos. My edges has all the infinity stones and all the power to do whatever they want to do, and I just didn't know that. I really didn't know that. And it was recently brought to my attention that all of the failures of Black men is because of my edges. And I didn't know that. And so I'm learning. So, you know, I'm just trying to say for everybody who takes issue with the way that my edges have been handling themselves, you have to bear with them. They just didn't know. They really didn't know. Again, when you know better, you do better. And from now on, I can tell everybody my edges will be on their best behavior from now on. My edges will no longer be contributing to mass incarceration. I'll tell my edges to stop causing Black men to get on Fox News and coon it up. You know, I'll tell my edges to stop having these white supremacists murdering people, because I just realized my edges have been contributing to the behaviors of Black men. They really have. Who would have known? Really, awkwardly incredible. I'm just as mind blown as you are, because I simply had no idea my edges were this important. Apparently they are, though. Apparently they are. But there's a number of different things that, if you think about it within context, and you think about how instrumental and how often my edges have become the topic of discussion. So based on that has to mean that my edges must be really important. My edges must be real important, because they just keep coming up. And I really don't even, you guys have to bear with me while I adjust this camera. I'm trying to turn the camera on. It's the wrong one though. So let me, I gotta fix this so the right camera will come on. See, I keep making mistakes. My edges be making mistakes. We just can't get right. If you guys see things in the background, you're going to have to bear with me. I'm getting ready to move. Soon these movers are going to come in and pick up my stuff. And so, yeah, soon they're going to come pick up my stuff. And so my apartment is a mess right now. But I really wanted to, this is serious. Like, y'all are laughing. I'm like 100% dead serious. My edges has been running amok. My edges have been dropping the ball. I'm just telling you guys, my edges really have. Somebody said it's moving too fast. Let me look, because I thought I put this on slow mode. No, I really, you know what? I really am, and I encourage all you ladies to take responsibility on for your edges too, because apparently Black men are distracted by our edges. They simply cannot make a move. Our edges, if we don't, the thing of it is that you guys don't get is that these men are showing you that our edges are extremely important. They just really are. So the reality of it is until we are able to, until we're able to get control of our edges and channel our edge power into something more productive, our edges just being attached to our scalp isn't enough. Our edges are preventing Black men from acting. They are preventing Black men from acting. They can't do anything about white supremacist terrorism if we don't get our edges in order. We can't. We can't. Like, really, I didn't. Let me tell you why I was confused. I was confused because I don't see any other group of men who are held back by their women's edges. You never hear white men complaining about their edges. We do need more edge control, Penny Snatcher. We really do. We really do need some more edge control. We really do. We really need some more edge control, because I'm gonna tell you guys, I was confused. Like, I'm new to this. I came on the scene. I'm very new to this. In light of the fact that I haven't seen, Asian men, they're doing quite fine. They're not really, the Asian community is fine. Okay. They're not, you never hear Asian men talking about their women's edges. Okay. The Asians, they have a history dealing with white supremacy. They still have some issues in the community, but it seems like our edges are the only ones. Black women's edges are the only ones that actually have the power to stop their men from acting, because Asian men are still kind of taking care of their kids. You look at China. China is next in line to be the world's biggest superpower. So it sounds like Asian women's edges aren't an impediment to their men. Right. Miss Feminista, Asian men are able to build and create because Asian women have edge control. You didn't know? Asian women's edge control is on point. We are the only ones who don't have our edges in order. Therefore, Black men are the only ones who can't get right in their community. They can't take care of their children. I mean, even though Asian women have edge control, still when Black men be with Asian women, they're still doing the same thing. So I think maybe their edge control isn't effective. Our edge control is. Our edges are the reason why reparations haven't been awarded yet, apparently, because we don't have our edges in order. Yeah, we don't. White women's track infusions that be showing. You know what? When Britney Spears cut all of her hair off, edges and all, I expected the white community to collapse. I really did. I really did. I know they have a high cancer rate, and I'm pretty sure a lot of their women are losing their hair, edges and all, but white men are still able to effectively dominate Black men. So I'm a little bit confused, but we got to listen to Black men when they appeal to us. We got to listen to them. They said we need to show our edges. Apparently we need to show our edges, because if we don't show our edges, they simply can't do what they're supposed to. They can't. Y'all know damn well if that little boy's mom would have took her wig off and showed her edges, he wouldn't have been snatched off that bus by the white supremacists. We already know that. We know her edges are the reasons why she couldn't that little boy got snatched off. Those white supremacists wanted to murder that little boy, not because he was Black, but because his mother had a wig on her head, a blonde one, and she wasn't showing her edges. So because her edges weren't showing, then no protection. All edges matter. Exactly. Black edges matter too. Apparently Black edges matter more, because keep in mind, every other group is thriving. Okay, that's why you don't hear them talking about it. Black men are trying to tell you their core problem, why they simply cannot do what they need to be doing. They can't perform as men because of our edges. Mine specifically, in terms of, if you break it down to the conscious community, None of these conscious men can really function. They can't really address white supremacy. They can't make movements to hold white supremacy accountable because I won't show them my edges. I won't show them my edges. So that's the thing. This is the problem holding these men back, is that my edges are just out of control. They really are. There's a extreme edge problem going on here. It really is. It is. And even when I try to get my edges in control, if my edges are covered by that wig, oh, then end of the world, apparently. End of the world. I thought I was getting my edges under control when I put a wig on, but apparently that wig covering my edges seem to have done something. They seem to have done something, and it kind of created the same problem in the Black community. It did. So that's why these Black dudes are trolling me all the time. That's why one was pretending to be a white dude, threatening to kill me. Jason Black, finally, we got to thank him, because him and Tariq together, it took the two of them together to discover the real issue, just like it took three of them on Zoe Williams' show to pronounce effeminize. So we have to work what we work with. They're not at full capacity. 3 brains are better than 1, especially if you're trying to pronounce effeminize. And now 2 brains are better than 1 when you want to get down to the problem of the Black community. And clearly the conscious community just it can't move on. Tariq tried to tell me, and I didn't pay attention. You guys got to bear with me. I didn't pay attention when Tariq told me. When Tariq put my edges on the front line, when he brought the initial attention to my edges, I literally, I had no idea. It took Jason Black too. And then Jason Black, all he needed to do is regurgitate what Tariq said, and then a light bulb went off. Took 2 of them to bring awareness to my edges. Now I know what's happening. They simply can't do an online movement. How are they going to do it? How are they going to do it? My edges are the reason why Tariq skipped over the fact that Black men were fighting to get interracial dating laws passed. My edges are the reasons why he's a historian, but he skipped past that and he saw Loving versus Virginia, but he didn't see the 3 cases beginning in 1883 when Black men were going to the civil rights movement to get anti-miscegenation laws passed. And we're actually successful in 2 cases. He simply, my edges. That's why he overlooked that. That's why he just couldn't do it. He made 4 documentaries, Hidden Colors, and in none of them, over all that history, although he mentioned Loving versus Virginia, my edges caused a big, it was a barrier for him. My edges were a barrier, so he simply could not mention the fact that the Moors were kicked out of Europe for having sex with so many white women. I didn't know that. I didn't know it. My edges are the problem. My edges are the problem. Apparently, my edges are the reason why Black men have been dominated for 500 years. We do need to do an edge rights movement. They really should be thanking me, because if it wasn't for my edges, they wouldn't even have the ability to coon out. Black men wouldn't even have the ability to coon out if it wasn't for my edges. So shout out to Jason Black and Tariq Nasheed to getting to the real root cause of the problem. Because he said you need to get to the root cause of the problem. I just never knew that my edges were that important, but they are. Apparently they are. Apparently they are. My edges, hopefully the fact that I'm not wearing weave, hopefully some of these issues in the Black community can be cleared up. Are Black men still getting shot down in the street because I took off my hair? My wig is not on anymore. So surely this should have ended police brutality. It should have ended police brutality. Have anybody today seen any articles where Black men were shot and killed? I know Ving Rhames had the police called on him at his own house. I didn't wear a wig yesterday, so that should have solved the problem. That should have solved the problem. I don't know. I don't know why police would still be shooting black men. I'm not wearing weave. So why are they still killing them? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, the South Africans got their land back. Okay, it must have been the fact that I didn't wear a wig. It had to be. It had to be. Let me send a memo to North Korea so they can stop with that nuclear bomb, because I took my wig off. So surely they should, in addition to that, they should stop spraying chemtrails, because I don't have any foundation on. I mean, I have a little lipstick and some eyeshadow, but I'm trying to do better. I don't have on any foundation, so maybe they'll stop spraying chemtrails. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll stop spraying. I don't know. You guys tell me. You guys let me know. What issues do you guys feel like my edges have contributed to? The wig is very powerful. Goes all the way back to ancient Egypt. Actually, the fall of ancient Egypt was because of those wigs. The minute those black women brought in those wigs that men were wearing too, the minute they brought them in, it just brought the entire Egyptian empire. Kemet literally fell and crumbled because they were wearing wigs. All that makeup that they made in Egypt, y'all know the pyramids shook the minute wigs start being worn. And black men are simply trying to let us know that the problem is all this hair and makeup. That's what the problem is. Exactly. Coconut Jason, I'm pretty sure your edges took out the Twin Towers. It did. My edges bombed Pearl Harbor. My edges bombed Pearl Harbor. That clearly, I didn't know that. I didn't know. 9/11 was caused by my edges. If black women weren't wearing wigs in Egypt, there would have never even been slavery. Y'all know they went over there and took all those slaves because of black women wearing wigs, right? My edges shot Tupac and Biggie. The left side shot Tupac, the right side shot Biggie. That's how it went. My edges been running amok. They are. And see, the thing of it is that black men are trying. They really are. Because someone told me that they're really trying to defend themselves. They are, y'all know they are really trying, but my edges just won't let them. My edges is holding them back. If it's not the white man that's holding them back, y'all know it's black women's edges. Y'all know it's the fact that black women refuse to stop wearing weave and makeup. My edges, again, Kenya Moore. The left side of my edges killed Malcolm X. The right side shot MLK. Y'all know it's my edges. Y'all know it's my edges. Y'all know it's my edges. And now I know. So I'm trying to apologize. So I'll let the black men tell me, what would you like me to do about my edges? What would you like me to do about my edges? How can my edges be of assistance to you? How can what do you want me to do? You want me to pull a piece of hair from my edges and give it to you? Maybe it can empower you so that you can stop being dominated by white men. Maybe if you get one of my edge hairs, maybe they'll stop mass incarcerating you. Exactly. My edges inspired the CIA to put drugs in the black community. Dylan Roof, in his manifesto, there's a paragraph about my edges. He shot up that black church because of my edges. In fact, that's why he killed more black women than black men. That's why. He killed more black women than black men because he knew black women wore more weave and makeup than black men did. That's why Dylan Roof did it. Okay? My edges are dragging boxes of guns into Chicago. Clearly. We really do need to get some edge control. We do. We got to get some edge control. We just have to. The edge, is there a brand that y'all can maybe recommend me and maybe I can grab more control of my edges? Again, I didn't know that edges were so important because I see other races of men not really discussing edges. I never hear any of them discussing edges. You know, I never hear them discussing our wigs. I never hear them discussing our makeup. So I thought that all men had an issue with edges, but apparently not. Apparently, all men are not affected by edges. Black men are, though. Black men are affected by edges, though. And we see that. We see that black men are very affected by edges. So I just want some of the ladies in the room to try to give me some tips on what I can do about my edges so that it's not causing such a hindrance to the black community. I want to know. I want you guys to tell me about edge control tips so that my edges can stop destroying the black community. I am so done with shy doves. If you ever in your entire life, this dude said it's the edge of the road. I am too done with you. Did you just say it's the edge of the road? Really? I cannot. Oh, okay. So Creed one said coconut oil. Okay, so coconut oil. Coconut oil is a good remedy to it. Oh, Adria Goff said fenugreek mask. Okay, that'll get the edges in order. Because we really got to help our men out. Like, seriously. Like, they're killing, they're over there population control in Africa. So we got to really get edge control on point so, you know, these Africans can survive. The survival of the black community rests on our edges. So, you know, we really got to get our edges in order. Like, it's just not fair. We have the edges. We're the gatekeeper to edges. So we really we need to be more responsible. Choose better edge control methods. That's what we need to do. If y'all don't stop with the push me to the edge, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Okay, hold on. Really? Did you? I really cannot do it. He said, push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. I really need to block that person because I'm literally like crying laughing because you stood up here and said, did you really just say push me to the edge? All my friends are dead. I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna pass out, okay? I'm literally gonna pass out if y'all don't stop with the edge songs. Like, really? Married to the edge. I can't. Turn it off. I'm turning off my camera because y'all are not gonna talking about edges. Did you really just say edge up? Don't you? Addicted to the edges. I cannot. They said edge up, don't shoot. Y'all know Trayvon Martin would be alive if it wasn't for our edges. Tamir Rice lost his little life. How many black men have to die before we get the proper edge control method, y'all? Because really, all these race soldiers they're waiting on is for us to get our edges in order, and then they can stop shooting black men. Like, how many Tamir Rices do there need to be? Edgy McFly. How many different Sandra Blands and Tamir Rices do we gotta lose before we get our edges in control? You are. Then that's one for the Hebrew Israelite. You are the seed of your edges. And that is just too much. Nikki, I'm crying too. I can't do it. I can't get my edges to lay down for anything. Mark C, Mark C said that's right. Black men need to stand up and stop worrying about petty stuff. Black men could stand up if we would choose better edges. Now I'm trying to be sympathetic to the plight of black men, so I'm saying I'm a product of my edges at this point. At this point, I really am a product of my edges. Jay Johnson. Miseducation of edge control. I cannot. We're on the edge of extinction and we still can't get our edges in order. Like, really? What is it going to take, ladies, for us to wake up and smell the edges? Like, what is it? When are we going to wake up and smell the edges? The edges are about to hit the fan and y'all still playing around. Y'all are still playing around. We still sitting up here playing around with edges when we know that it is literally the key to our liberation. Shout out to Phil from Advice Show. He said, I take care of my edges every week. My barber straightened my edges on Tuesday. Well, I'm still working on getting my edges under control, but now I'm expediting it. Now that I know that my edges are holding black men back, they can't even discuss. They can't even begin to discuss how they're going to hold white supremacy accountable. They can't even begin to do that because of my edges. Y'all know all they doing is waiting on me to do the big reveal of these edges so they can get things together. It's like, how many times? Tariq already told y'all before. Didn't Tariq tell y'all a few months ago that my edges were the problem? So why does Jason Black then have to come back? When was that? That was in May. So y'all got Jason Black 3 months later having to regurgitate to y'all what Tariq said. He said it was my edges. We should have listened at that time. Do y'all know how much progress we could have had in 3 months if I would have just got my edges in control when Tariq said it? We should have been. Y'all know Tariq is trying to really change. He's trying to be the leader, okay? And he told y'all that my edges were the problem. He told y'all my edges were the problem, and y'all did nothing about it. None of y'all told me that my edges were the problem. So now that Jason Black had to come out and tell y'all, now everybody want to pay attention now that Jason Black is telling y'all my edge. Y'all should have been helped me get these edges in order. Y'all are just as complicit in my lack of edge control as I am. Y'all are to blame for this too. Y'all are an accessory to the crime of not choosing better edges. That's what y'all are. Because y'all all allowed me to just sit up here knowing that I needed some edge control. Y'all know black men are dating white women and increasingly doing it all over the globe. Y'all know they doing that because of our edges. Y'all know they doing it. Y'all know that they can't do anything. Y'all already know 73% single mothers is because of our edges. If we just choose better edges, now I got to bring all black women to task because we really need to do something about our rogue edges. We have some rogue edges that are just running amok, and if we would get our edges in order, then black men could get in order. Y'all know they waiting for us to get our edges together. Y'all know they waiting for us to get the day that we get our edges in order, then these men can really step up to the plate and be men. their dads, I really do need Iyanla to fix my edges. I need to write Iyanla and tell her that my edges have been causing mass destruction to the Black community. It's preventing Black men from getting up and fighting white supremacy. Black men can't do anything because I won't get my edges under control. If I would get my edges under control and show them my edges, they would stop submitting to white supremacy. Exactly. They feel like I'm an edge supremacist. And this is the problem. Y'all know that white supremacists just slit those two Black girls' throats because of my edges. And y'all know if I would just show them my edges, they would do something about it. Y'all know that I just listened to a video of Zoe Williams thoroughly punking Jason Black. And y'all know Jason Black could not be on point. He had to submit to Zoe Williams because I wouldn't show him my edges. If I just showed them my edges, then he wouldn't have got punked out. Y'all know if I would have just showed Tariq my edges, then he would have had an appropriate response to those white dudes who sat up in a video and said they were going to fuck his wife because he had the small dick. He wasn't able to respond to them because I wouldn't show my edges. Y'all know that that's why he wouldn't show his edges. Y'all know that Jason Black, who went over there and submitted, y'all know he can't show his face because I won't show my edges. That's why. That's holding him back. He set up in a house with a white supremacist. Y'all know that white supremacist felt comfortable allowing him in his home because I wouldn't show my edges. Y'all know that's why. Exactly. Y'all know my edges are the one that was running amok when Zoe Williams got into it with Ari Spears. Y'all know the Moors gave white supremacists the knowledge and helped them to implement slavery and the system of white supremacy. Y'all know they did that because of my edges. You know they did it because of my edges. In fact, white people are not to blame for racism. Our edges are. Mine specifically. Exactly. Just like Sharice Kraft said, but sin, your edges is the root of white supremacy. It is. Act Natural Under Pressure said, why won't he show himself? He can't because I haven't shown my edges yet. So he's just waiting for my edges to get in order. And then he'll stop, you know, he'll do his big reveal when I show my edges. Because the issue isn't really that he's afraid of white supremacy, and he's afraid that if white supremacy sees him on YouTube doing something, then they're going to snatch that position away from him. They're going to keep dominating him and slap him in place. If they see him, it's not because of that. It's because of my edges. He's just waiting on my edges. He has no fear of white male dominance. He just needs to see my edges. And the minute that I show him my edges, he will stop cowering to all white men. Y'all know that. Aquarius Star said you can read about edges in Psalms. For all the Christians out there, what does the Bible say to do about rogue edges? There has to be something in the Bible that talks about edges. Because if the Bible is Black history, then there has to be something in there about edges, because edges had to be instrumental in where we're at now. Because if edges are the reason why we can't progress now, then edges had to be the reason why we're in this current situation. And if the Bible is Black history, then the Bible should have a remedy for this issue of edges. Break my edges, really. Y'all know the Bible has a remedy for edges. I don't know. Maybe it's in Deuteronomy. Maybe the cure to this issue with edges. Maybe it's in Revelation. It's probably in Revelation, actually. It's probably in Revelation. If we read the book of Revelations, we should get some insight into what we can do about these edges. It's in the book of Angela. I think it is. I think it might be. Maybe it's in the Egyptian book of the edge. Maybe it's in there. Because as it stands, black men are at a standstill. They can't do anything until they see my edges. And then there's black men who are on YouTube. They really do want to address white supremacy, but they can't. So edges, my edges, if I would just show my edges, they would stop putting out these lies and false propaganda that welfare put the black man out of the home. Y'all know welfare didn't put the black man out of the home, our edges did. Y'all know that those black men could not stay and take care of their kids because of our edges. If we had the proper edges, there would not be a 73% rate of out of wedlock kids in the black community and a 92%. Because y'all know black women's edges is stopping black men from taking care of the kids they create with white women. Y'all know that. See, the white community is even adversely affected by our edges. They have to make other kids single mothers too, because our edges is running around. Our edges is running around. Y'all know that they're according to them, there's an increase in down low brothers. Y'all know if my edges weren't down low, then these gay black men wouldn't have to be down low. Because if my edges would come out, then they could come out and stop giving women HIV because they want to have sex with men and women. Y'all know pedophilia is at an all-time high because we won't show edges. If we would just get our edges in order, child support wouldn't be an issue. Because our edges is running men out of their homes, even in 2018. That's what our edges are doing. And all of this weave, are y'all serious? If we just didn't wear weave, all of these wealthy black men, they could be building hospitals, banks, and businesses if we just didn't wear weave. Because then they could take that weave money, and who cares about the Jordans and the strip clubs that they tricking out at, and the money that they throwing around for all these jewelry and cars and all these name brands that are owned by white people. Who cares about that? If y'all would just stop wearing weave, then they could put all that money into the black community. They could put all that money into the black community if we would just stop, get our edges in order, and stop wearing weave. Black on black crime would end if we just stop wearing weave. Mass incarceration would literally, if our edges were being controlled, mass incarceration would end. Police brutality would end. Employment discrimination would end. Y'all know these people are being murdered because of our edges. So why would y'all sit there and not take responsibility for what your edges are doing? Y'all know we need to take responsibility for our edges. And unfortunately, nobody wants to do that. And the funny thing is I actually am trying to take responsibility for my edges. LG3 said we should pull our edges up by our bootstraps. We really should. We really should. We got to get our edges on point. And then we got to get our edges on point, and we need to report back to black men and tell them the progress that we've been having with our edges so that they can track the progress of us being liberated from white supremacy. Because y'all know if we just had the appropriate edge control, they wouldn't have to go create children with white supremacist females and breed out the black community. They wouldn't even have to do that if we would just get our edges in order, because we already know that's the main problem in the black community. And y'all know that because that's all they talk about. When we mention white supremacy, they're telling you our edges and hair is the problem. And the minute that we just fix our edges and stop wearing weave, all this white supremacy will go away. Because remember, they said white supremacy is, our weave is white supremacy. So if weave is white supremacy, if we get rid of weave, then white supremacy dies overnight. That's really, white supremacy will die overnight if we just stop wearing weave. Y'all get y'all edges in order and they'll start taking care of their children. They'll stop being passive to white male dominance. They'll get real aggressive if we just take out our weave. Because y'all know that's all that they're waiting on anyway. That's all they've been waiting on. All black men have been waiting on is for us to get our weave situation in order and to control our edges. That's what they've been waiting for. Khadija Under saying, oh, well, we gonna have to wait till next month so I can get my bundles. I'm actually about to get some bundles shortly here soon from a black person. Y'all know how look, since at least the 1960s, our edges have been a problem. Our edges have been a known problem in the black community since at least the 1960s. The 1960s is when our edges became really problematic because then they start having to bring in welfare. Then they start having to bring in mass incarceration. They put those drugs in the black community because of our edges. That's when everything started going downhill. Jacarius McRae said, "In edges we trust." So sexy boy said white men wouldn't allow black women to fix their edges for 400 years to cripple our people. Yeah, you know our edges brought the whole black community down, and it's bringing it down now. Because the reality of it is when somebody constantly talks about something and constantly brings up something, they're telling you what's the primary problem. So their primary issue is our hair and makeup. That's what they're telling you. They're talking about weave because it really is what's most important to them. They can't do anything. They're impaired. We're impaired. Shalinda Harrison, girl, I'm about to start watching my soap opera as the edges turn. Y'all know that movie, The Passion of Edges, was one of the biggest movies out here. We have to stop the edge on edge control, really? Look, there's some men who could slay some edges. So maybe we need to get the Jeffree Stars and, the who else to tell us what to do with our edges. Bad edges is the black man's kryptonite. It's completely disabling them. Really, black men need to ask all the other races of men why they can still do what they need to do despite their women's edges. See, black men just haven't learned to be able to navigate through edges. That's why they haven't learned how to navigate through the edge issue. So maybe they should ask white men and Asian men and Hispanic men. They need to ask them how they're navigating around the edge issue in our community. We do. Phil, we do got to stop edge on edge crime. We do. We really do. Like the epidemic of, single mothers with bad edges. There's an epidemic of it. Y'all know if there was the proper edge control, these men wouldn't be creating babies. The issue within condoms is edges. The problem is edges. It's not anything other than edges. Okay? Jay Johnson said, COINTELPRO, the hidden story of edge control and how it destroyed the Black Panthers. Exactly. Y'all know the government had a hidden edge agenda to make all of this happen. All they wanted to do is separate black women from their edges because they knew if they separated black women from their edges, it would immediately cause black men to fail. All they had to do is separate the black woman from her edges, and black men would automatically will submit to white supremacy. Who knew that? I thought they were using demonic sorcery. Apparently, they're using our edges. We're not living in a system of white supremacy. We're living in a system of edge supremacy. What in the name of edge is happening? Big Sop said, why is hair and makeup even a topic of discussion? Because it's the root of the problems in the Black community. That's why you hear so many of them talking about it. That's why they talk more about edges and hair and makeup. They talk more about that than they talk about white supremacy. So apparently edges and makeup and hair is the issue. We do. We need to pick better edges. We just really do. Y'all really have to understand that we are going to have to make a concerted, a conscious effort to pick better edges and do better with our edges. Because if we would pick better edges, these Black men could do what they need to do. We are holding them back. Our edges is the key to liberation. Okay? This 500 run of Black men being dominated by edge supremacy, it's a real thing. They're not being dominated by white supremacy. I just need to get my edges in order. And I'm going to work on my edges for Black men so that my edges are not stopping Black men, because they'll say it's my attitude, but they never talk about my attitude. They talk about my edges. So it must be my edges. They'll say that it's because I'm anti-Black male and I'm spreading propaganda, but they won't challenge whatever propaganda. They're challenging my edges. They're calling my edges to task. So that means my edges are the issue. Because surely if the issue were my talking points, they would have been addressed those. Because they're not just going to have an issue with what I say and then talk about edges. No, they're talking about edges for a reason. You just got to read between the lines. You just got to read between the lines. We're coming up on Edge World 3, Edge War 3 for a reason. Y'all know my edges is what's making me bitter and hateful. It's the edges. They're telling y'all it's my edges. If I would just get my edges in order, I could be happy. If I would just get my edges in order, maybe I would get a Black man. If I just got my edges in order. Who would have known? Exactly. Sexy LR boy said the government is poisoning the air, food, vaccines, and water to fuck up the edge of the Black women. You know they are, because if Black women's edges are not on point, Black men cannot be on point. They cannot get on point because my edges have not been revealed. And if I would just show them my edges, all of this can end. Can we trade edges like Bitcoins? As Jay knows it, she'll say, why am I touching my edges right now? Because you're realizing how important they are. You're realizing how important your edges are. You know, a lot of people said I generalize Black men, and the issue within my edges is that I generalize Black men, but it has to be my edges because nobody's ever talking about me generalizing Black men. I have to go by what they're saying. And if they're saying that the issue is my edges, then the issue is my edges. I'm not going to sit here and speak for them. They said the issues are my edges. So I have to accept that my edges are the problem. I have to accept that. I have to believe what they're telling me. I have to believe. They can't protect the Black community because my edges won't allow them to. They cannot even begin to address white supremacy because first they have to deal with edge supremacy first. First they have to get our edges in check, and then they can deal with white supremacy. They will address the fact that they're implementing plans of and carrying out plans of genocide in the Black community. They'll address that after they address my edges. They have to. They have to address my edges. Now, I thought that they didn't like my talking points. I thought they didn't like me pointing out the truth, but we have to assume that if they haven't debunked anything that I've said and they immediately go to edges, then we have to believe that edges are the problem. We just have to. There's nothing else that we can do, okay? Because I'm not going to put words in their mouth. I was on the phone and I asked this dude about certain issues and he said, no, your edges are the problem. So my edges are the problem. I have to believe that. I have to believe there is no white supremacy. There is no white supremacy. White supremacy isn't holding black men back. My edges are. My edges are holding black men back. White supremacy isn't to blame. And that's why they're not addressing white supremacy. Y'all know that black men voted for Donald Trump nearly 3 times more than black women did because Donald Trump promised to deal with my edges. That Donald Trump promised to make my edges great again. And that is why black men voted for him, because they want to see Donald Trump make my edges better again, make my edges great again. And actually, those shirts will be out soon. I will be making the Make My Edges Greater Again. I will. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a shirt that says, make edges great again. Mega, exactly. They got MAGA. We got mega. Make edges great again. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do that. Really, seriously. Jay Johnson, it was 3% of black women voted for Trump. 17% of black men voted for Trump. So they voted for Trump because he said he's going to make my edges great again. That's why. Yeah, I'm gonna do it, and I'll come on here and wear it, and it'll say "Make my edges great again." I'll do that. The reason why black men are the only men who think that women should fight their battles is because of my edges. So that troll is in there asking, what are women doing about white supremacy because of my edges? Now, no other men are asking that. So no other man relies on their women, but apparently because of our edges, black men have to say that black women need to be fighting white supremacy. And apparently because black women's edges are being oppressed by white supremacy, that means black men have to submit to white supremacy too, because our edges won't allow them to not submit. Exactly. Taylor Scott, I'm trying to take responsibility for the fact that my edges have contributed to 400 years of destruction in the black community. Jay Johnson said women are not supposed to be warriors. That is a man's job. Well, the troll in the chat room just said women asked me as a woman, what am I doing to fight white supremacy? So apparently we should be fighting white supremacy. I don't really know too many other people who say that. But again, there's no black men's issues are unique. Okay. Black men's issues are unique. They are very unique because they have a unique position in society. So that's why black men are the only ones affected by weave, edges, and makeup. Black men are the only ones who expect black women to fight white supremacy while they submit to it. That's why black men are the only ones making every race of women that they get with single mother, because of edges. We have to realize, we have to take this edge issue serious. We really do. They're going to put edge control on the ballot. It's coming up on the election is right around the corner. Edge control is going to be on the ballot. And the only person that's going to win is the one that tell black men they're going to do something about black women's edges. That's the only, that it will be the next election campaign for whatever president wants to get the black vote needs to put edge control on the agenda. They need to put edge control, because the only way black men are going to vote for them is if there's an agenda to deal with black women's edges. That's the only way they're going to do it. What Jamel said, really? We are still on black women's edges? I can't. They're telling you. I'm telling you guys, the best, if somebody is telling you something, you need to believe it. They're telling you the biggest issue they have. They can't do anything because we won't take off our wigs and weaves. We won't take off makeup, and we won't get our edges under control. And if we would get our edges under control, there will be no single mothers. There will be no absentee fathers. There will be no police brutality. There will be no racial terrorism. Because no man in his right mind would be talking about edges in a system of white supremacy. So there must not be a system of white supremacy. That's why they're focusing on edges. Because y'all know we have real men in our community, and the real men in our community like to focus on real issues. That's why they're saying edges. It must be a real issue if that's what they're talking about. It must be a real issue. Edges have to be the issue, because that's what black men are talking about. And of course, they would not dare talk about edges if we have other issues. So edges must be the prominent issue. If you have so-called people, really, Jason Black's documentary isn't called Race War, it's called Edge War. It's called Edge War. His documentary is called Edge War because there is no race war. Because you wouldn't be sitting here talking about edges if you really thought that there was a race war. Shout out to Angry Man. Surely, if you really thought there was a race war, you wouldn't be talking about edges, because I would think that a race war would be primary over edges, but I was on a phone call and I was told my edges were the problem. And that's what I was told. I was told my edges were the problem. There's no possible way black men would be talking about edges if white supremacy was the primary issue. There is no possible reason why. So we're hearing it so much because that's their biggest issue. And I'm telling you guys, we really, just like I said, that when white supremacists tell you something or show you something, you have to pay attention to it. So if most of these dudes, actually all of them, whenever a black woman bring up a problem, if they're telling you it's edges, it's weave, it's makeup, you have to believe them. That is the primary issue. They are telling you what it is. And now I'm listening. I can't afford to not listen to them. Edges are the problem. Edges are the problem. So maybe when Jason Black, the faceless phantom, went to Jared Taylor's place, he didn't interview him to talk about his disdain for black people. He went to talk about my edges, because he simply let Jared Taylor know that the reason he has all of this vitriol towards black people, specifically black men, is because of my edges. So I better be getting some royalties from off that documentary, because surely you went there to find out why my edges is causing so much destruction in the black community. When he had a discussion with Richard Spencer, he didn't talk to him about the alt-right and white nationalists. He went to talk to him about my edges and edge nationalists and the alt-edge right. That's what he did. That's what he went to talk about. This is the alt-edges. Exactly. Pam Fair said, control your edges and you will have a full selection of dusties to choose from. Really, all you got to do is get your edge game on point. Cree said, Jason Black, short, stubby nerd from Shreveport, Louisiana, who worked in an AT&T call center for years. Probably discussing edges. When they called in to see why their text messages weren't sending, he said, girl, you just got to get your edges right. All you got to do is get them edges on point, and that phone signal will clear right up. Just get your edges in order. BJ said, so edges are a problem now. Yeah, they are. You didn't know? You didn't know? You got to go look at these videos whenever you really do. You have to look at the comment section and all you're going to see is weave, makeup, weave, edges. Clearly that's the problem. And that's why they're dating white women, because they have better edges, but their edges are not good enough to make them stop leaving them as single mothers too. So they have better edges, but their edges are not good enough because they're still leaving white women as single mothers. So close, but not close, not good enough. It's close. Like white women are close. I guess they choose white women because they have better edges. But those good edges, when it comes to them taking care of their kids, oh, they can't do that. They can't do that. Then their edges are not that good. That's why the rate of absentee fathers among non-Black women is higher than it is among Black women because edges. And really, all of these Black men saying that I'm a Black male hater and I spread propaganda, those are just smoke screens. The real issue is edges, because that's what they keep talking about. That's why there's no need for them to break up my talking points. There's no need for them to address the issue at hand, because the issue isn't what I'm saying, it's my edges. Naya Imhotep, well, white supremacy isn't an issue. White male dominance isn't an issue. Our edges are. That's why they keep focusing on them. Chris said, I will never understand why so many Black men are quick to battle us, yet they turn a blind eye to white terrorists like George Zimmerman. Because he's not a terrorist. Our edges are. Because our edges are the reason why George Zimmerman stalked Trayvon Martin. It's because of our edges. Asian women have edges. LAF. Asian women have edges, but not the type of edges that are hindering their men from doing things. Only Black women's edges are able to prevent their men from dealing with these societal issues. Only our edges are able to do that. We have very powerful edges. And that's why I say with great edges come great responsibility, because we need to really work on our edges. We really do. Melanin Nation said white women always wear a weave. No, they don't. Only Black women do that. Remember, because Black men said they don't like weave, so they wouldn't go from one group of women who wear weave to another one. They would never do that. Exactly. Jacarius McCrae said the edges won't let me lead. Exactly. They can't lead. That Black girl, y'all know that Black girl was in the video fighting all those people on her own while 4 Black dudes sat on the side because her edges weren't right. If her edges were right, they would have been able to jump in. They would have been able to do something other than film if her edges were right. Y'all know those Black men in that pizza shop, they couldn't help that Black woman. The white man had to go to her rescue because her edges weren't right. And if her edges were right, those Black men wouldn't have stood around laughing. They would have helped her. But her edges weren't right, so they couldn't do it. Did you say I want a venti edge macchiato with extra edge? Exactly. Sophia Sanders, her edges weren't laid right. So it needs to be. Tariq's next documentary needs to be hidden edges. He does. He needs to tell, clearly Black women, we don't know how to manage our edges. So he needs to put out a documentary and go over the origins of our edges. He really needs to. Between him and Jason Black, I'm sure they can collaborate and figure out a remedy to the edge problem in the Black community. I suspect right now black men are coming up with a plan on what they can do about these edges. Surely the conscious community is working on a remedy to the issues with edges. It is, Mac Louie. It's all about them edges, though. That's why I said it's like with great edges come great responsibility. When you know better, you do better. And now that we know our edges are the issue, we'll do better. I'm gonna take things before I get off of here and go finish packing. Maxita Brown said black women edges got too much attitude and don't need men. You know, black women's edges betrayed black men, kicked them out of the home, told them to take welfare, and then made them embrace feminism. These black men can't tell you where they went when they got put out of the home, but the bottom line of it is it had to be our edges. It had to be our edges. It had to be our edges. Khadija, no, Christina's gonna stay far away from anything that I'm doing. At least she get cussed out. Like, seriously. Ron Postak said, don't forget to pack your edges. I'll definitely try to make sure that my edges, when I move, that I get my edges right. Our edges are too strong and independent, and that's why men can't be men. Black men can't step up to be men because our edges won't let them. Hey, Cheryl. Cheryl, you need to take responsibility for your edges too, because surely your edges has been complicit in the destruction of the community too. You're not off the hook for your edges, okay? Because you can lay and slay some edges, but other people's edges aren't controlled, and that's why black men can do whatever they want to do. We need to take our edge. We need to take our edge situation seriously. And y'all are in here laughing. This is a serious issue. This is why black men keep talking about edges. That's why when you say, well, what's up with white supremacy? They say, well, what's up with your edges? When you say, what are you going to do to fight white male dominance? They say, when are you going to show me your edges? That's why. And Cheryl, you're definitely not exempt in the responsibility for these edges. You need to take it, and Khadija needs to take responsibility too for her edges. Because I noticed that y'all are not taking responsibility for what y'all edges are doing. Oh, Beyonce took your edges? Well, then we need to get on Beyonce and ask her what's going on with these rogue edges, because black men can't do anything. They can't do anything, because whenever I mention anything and ask them something, they mention my edges. So I don't know about y'all. Cheryl, I'm sure when you did your channel, some hair and makeup and edges came up. And so clearly that was the problem in your situation too. And the thing of it is they said I was bald-headed. So bald-headed means no edges. So what's the problem? So that's why I'm really confused, because first they said it was my edges, but then they said that I was bald-headed. So I don't understand how my edges could be so problematic if I don't even have hair. I don't get it. If I don't even have hair, how is my edges a problem? See, these men are confusing to me. I thought it was my edges, but then I remembered that they said I didn't even have any hair. So I don't get it. And then in the same conversation, I think the faceless phantom said that I didn't have hair, but then he asked me, he said that he'll do something about white supremacy and show himself when I show my edges. And I was like, but sir, you said I didn't have any hair, so there's no edges. And he still went back to edges. So I guess the only place that my hair isn't bald is around the edges. I guess I have edges, but no. I guess I have edges, but no hair. So I don't know. As the edges turn. Exactly. The IRS have been sending me letters because they want their cut of edges. They want their cut of the edges. I know, Cheryl. Cheryl said the power of the edges. I wouldn't have known either because everybody else say the power of the pussy. Apparently, it's power of the edges. Clearly, edges have more power than anything on the face of the edges are God. People say the black woman is God. No, the black woman's edges are God, and that's why black men are so focused on them. We will never get to the edge of this conversation. I hate you, James. I seriously despise you, James, for saying that. Because seriously, did you really say when we ever get to the edge of this conversation, you okay. I can. I'm like so done with y'all. When we ever get to the edge of the conversation, really? No, LAFLQ, the black woman can't be God. Edges are. They want our edges to end mass incarceration. The weight of the world is on our edges, really. The weight of the world is on our edges, and if we just get them edges in order, we could do so much if we would just channel the power that our edges have. There's so much power in our edges that we're just not utilizing. We don't know the full potential of our edges, and we really need to. Well, me said they want edges to turn them into men. Well, you know, our edges lowered their testosterone, so that's why they're feminized, because our edges have been causing we have an edge agenda to feminize the black men. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Is that there's an edge agenda to feminize the black man, and that's why they're feminine and white women are punking them, and that's why they're bowing to both white men and white women, because black women's edges went on a campaign to feminize the black man, and that's why they can't do anything. You know, I asked Jason Black to address the issues of why he thought I was hateful, and apparently my edges or lack thereof, he never made himself clear on whether I had hair or not. First he said that I had edges. I thought you had to have hair to have edges, but then he said I didn't have hair at all. So I was never clear on whether it was my lack of hair or my edges that was causing me to be a black man hater. I don't know what it was, but all I know is that my edges were the primary focal point of the discussion. And with Tariq, my edges were the primary focal point. And whenever there's somebody in my comment section, they're all talking about hair. So the issue has to be my hair. And that's why I'm trying to ask you guys, like, what should I do? Because again, if somebody tells you something, you don't have a choice but to believe them. So I don't have a choice but to believe that my edges and my hair or lack thereof, depending on who you ask. And it could be the same people too, because first you have no hair and then your hair and edges and then weave. Again, confusing. But maybe you guys can help me on what you think it is, because they said the faceless phantom said that it was my edges. And then Tariq, I'm addicted to boys. Nasheed said that it was my edges too. So I don't know. Didn't Corey Holcomb say something was my edges too? I thought he was responding. First, he said that I was stereotyping black men, but then he said the issue was my edges. So I don't know what it is. And they've yet to establish that GoFundMe. Exactly. Both of them said they were going to do a GoFundMe for my edges. They literally never followed through on that. Or maybe they did and they collected the money because Tariq is using a suspended corporation to get money. So maybe he did the GoFundMe, got the money and kept it, just like he's doing the Melanoid Nation suspended corporation, taking donations and keeping those too. So maybe he did it. Sounds like he had the habit of doing it. Sounds like he had and it sounds like it. Exactly. Nunu24 said, what's the GoFundMe? You would have to ask Tariq. He probably kept the money, I'm telling you. You know what, Sade, the funny thing is I do actually have gray hairs at my edges. That's the funny thing. I actually do have gray hairs in my edges. So that's what's really interesting. They said, don't let them turn my edges gray. I actually do have gray hairs in my edges. So. And I know the black men in here who are actual real black men, I know they're a little bit confused. They don't understand why there's so much talk of edges, but it appears that the majority of black men feel like the primary issue in the black community is black women's weave, black women's makeup, and edges. Clearly. Rhonda Johnson said, do they have edges for weaves? I know they have lace wigs with edges attached to them. Maybe that would solve the problem, but that can't solve the problem because they said weave is the problem too. They said weave is the problem too. So weave and edges and makeups, if we all wash our face, take off our weaves and slay our edges, then problem solved. They can get up and do what they need to do. They can progress. I was going to say the world can progress, but the world's already progressing. They're just not. So if we fix our edges and weave, everything will be cool. That's what we need. That's the solution. That's the remedy to white supremacy and all of its nuances and all of the systemic issues resulting from white supremacy. It's our edges. Person Kid 21 says, Sin, these are not men you speak of. These are eunuchs. They will never amount to much. Well, the problem is then we would have to say the majority of the men in our community have to be eunuchs because, or at least from my personal experience, and this is just anecdotal evidence. But whenever it comes to me and somebody saying something about me, it always comes into a dialogue about my issue, my edges. So I really have to believe that the primary issue concerning me is my edges. Kenya Moore said, I've seen a picture of Jason Black and now I see why he's so angry. Well, you can just determine that based off anybody who don't show their face for the month. If you've never laid eyes on them, because the thing of it is I don't always show my face in my broadcast, but the majority of my videos I'm showing my face, so everybody already know what I look like. There's not a person who can say that I'm not a real person or have to speculate who I am. You see it here. They're just having this discussion about my edges because apparently if I show my edges, then the neurons will start firing. They will have more critical thinking skills. They'll be more masculine. They'll just be more enabled and empowered to deal with white supremacy if I just show my edges. Big Sam said, I'm always suspect of people who don't show their faces. You and me both. And I'm suspect of anybody that a white supremacist will allow to sit in their home. Because you have to think, really, I wouldn't allow anybody in my home. I'm only going to allow certain people in my home, and that's certain people that I trust. So if they're the black man that a white supremacist trusts, then that means you should suspect them. If they don't show their face to you, they'll show it to a white supremacist, and that same white supremacist will invite them into their home. That's a person that's suspect to me. Somebody said Jason got moon craters in his face. Well, either that or he's an agent. Like, really, I'm going to suspect the person that I can't see that's sitting up in the home of white supremacists having tea and crumpets. I'm going to see them more as an agent than anybody else. Yeah, man, you can say that about O'Shea, but at least he shows himself. So to me, that gives him more of an edge, no pun intended. That gives him more of an edge than other people because they won't even show their face. Like Jason Black ain't even, he's afraid to even show his face. I feel like probably maybe because he looks like Jeepers Creepers. Maybe. And so that's why, you know, there's so much issue over my edges, because my edges are powerful. My edges are the reason why Jason Black sat in that white supremacist house, and my edges are the reason why he won't show black people his face, but he'll show it to white supremacists. That's why. Wheat Bread 81 said someone said he was fat and had full body acne. Probably. Ladybug Raw said, "Oh, Shay don't care. He shows your face," and I can respect him, because even though he knows people will insult him and people have, he still showed his face. So, and Jason Black is too afraid to show his face. He, for whatever reason, whether he's afraid of the repercussion from his master or he knows that face is hit, one of those reasons is why he's not showing his face. Honestly, O'Shea seems like he's getting better. O'Shea seems like he's getting better. He seems like he's getting better. Nobody cares whether you like Seattle. Nobody cares. Like, who cares? Pre-1 said, we all know Richard Spencer knows exactly how Jason looks. That's because there was something about Richard Spencer that Jason felt like he could connect to and show his face to. And the fact that he did that should make people suspect, but they won't, because unfortunately, we don't have people who are known to be the sharpest tools in the shed. I'll just say that. Black people aren't known to be the sharpest tools in the shed. We're just not. We lack discernment. We lack critical thinking skills. There's a lot of things that we lack. And it shows in our behaviors, because if we were smart, we wouldn't, living in the system of white supremacy, knowing that we're the ones that's always been taken advantage of. If we were smart, we wouldn't trust anybody, male, female, white, black, or whatever, who didn't show their face. And that's why if we can be okey doked by a person who don't even show their face to us, do you not know how dumb we must be? Because that Facebook group where that white person had the Black Lives Matter group and he got off with over $200,000. Notice how black people are the only one that got okey doked like that. Lips and Pro says, Cynthia, your edges will decalcify our pineal glands. You know it will. You know it will. Like, seriously. Mike Bezzy said the reason why JB and Tariq debate that way because their ideology isn't anchored in data. They just battle. Exactly. Well, and the thing of it is even if they do debate someone, They're going to debate someone that's more ignorant than they are, so that they don't challenge anything that they say. They already know I'm going to challenge everything that they say. They're not going to. They're not going to be able to get out of it intellectually. So they talk about weave and makeup. That's really just a reality. They're effeminized and addicted to boys anyway. Exactly. Blender House too said, you know that he is suspect. He is more comfortable with men who hate his ass than black people. Exactly. And well, and the thing of it is you have to question not so much as who he's comfortable with. You have to question him because those white supremacists who hate black men are comfortable enough to let him in their home. And if he's not a threat to a white supremacist male, then that means he's a threat to the black community. Really? Y'all gonna say play the song? Okay. Okay. We can, let me find the song. Hold on. Hold on. Let me find it. Because I need to find it first. Oh, it must not be on this one. It's on one of my channels. So that means it must be on the other one. So I have to go and find it because I uploaded it. So that I uploaded it to a channel. But y'all know, even if they are addicted to boys, you know they're addicted to boys because of our edges. So I don't even know. Like at this point, I just told you guys the root cause of everything. So there should be no question as to what's going on. The issue is our edges and the fact that we wear weave. And if we just stop doing it, then if we just get our what? How is it not finding it? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know what channel it's on. It's being stupid. Yeah, that's weird because I don't. Wait, is it on this one? Let me see if it's on this one. I'm still looking, just so you guys know. Because I uploaded it to one of my channels. And for some reason, it's just not showing up on any of them. And it has to be. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why it's not coming up. It doesn't make sense why it's not coming up. So, I mean, I tried finding it. Yeah, it's I don't know why it's not. I know it's Let me check something else and see if it's on there, because I know it's on there, but for some reason YouTube is not pulling it up as being stupid. Yeah, I don't know where it is. So it's not coming up. So I don't know. I would have to find it at another time. I know it's somewhere in here, and it's somewhere in my email too. So maybe I'll search through my email and see, because that's how I initially got it. Somebody sent me. Okay, Cerulean. Let me read y'all what Cerulean said. He said, "Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of edges, thou shalt fear no edge cream. Worry not, edges are a low priority." Okay, so but the thing of it is Cerulean, you gotta tell that to Tariq and Jason Black. Edges are a huge issue for them, but that was actually funny. Oh, okay, here I found it. Okay.
I'm addicted to boys. 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 It takes more than swagger. You gotta have a nice.
Quick topic change. Do Hebrew Israelites remind you guys of fruit flies? Because they really do. Like, you know how it's fruit fly season now, so you really, it's very difficult to get rid of them. That's what they remind me of. The volume is all the way down? No, it can't be. The volume can't be all the way down because mine is actually very loud. Network not found said yes, like a gnat at a barbecue. Really, they are, and they're stubborn and overbearing. If they could just keep their Hebrew Israeliteness over there, like somebody in the chat room, this is about edges, and they were in here talking about, oh, you're not an Egyptian, you're a Hebrew. Well, nobody said that we were Egyptians. We said the Egyptians had wigs, and if it weren't for their wigs, there would have never been any whitewashing of Egypt or any white supremacy. Nobody said that anybody was, no, nobody said anything. And more overbearing than Christians. They are very overbearing, and it's like, I think that if they just had like a softer, less annoying approach, then maybe people would really. Okay, well, let's get you out of here then. Yeah, because we just go get you out of here since you feel that way. Last of the edgikins. No, but you can get out of here if you keep asking questions about people standing up. Nobody's standing up. For what? Like, for what? Saying just ignore the Hebrew Power Ranger Israelites. No, but in all seriousness, the edge thing is serious. Clearly, for the dusty beta males, edges are a priority for them because they're cowardly anyway. But for the real black men, we really do got to figure out what to do about these edgeologists who want to just sit up here and focus on weave and makeup that nobody has time for. So Shanice H said, don't forget the Aborigines too, so damn annoying. Really. And y'all know what the funny thing is all other groups of people, they'll unite regardless to what their religion is. But it's like over here, we act like we have to be divided based on the Christians, the remixed Christians, which is the Hebrew Israelites. We act like we have to divide based on these sects, like somehow you being the Hebrew Israelite is going to really do something. And it's like, it's not going to really do anything, because even if you're a Hebrew, I'm sure there's been some Hebrew Israelites who have gotten shot by some of these race soldiers. So clearly that doesn't matter. Like, we really need to stop. Why are you at Ty Wynn? Why are you asking me a dumb question? I'm going to assume you're new. We don't have to block him. He might be new to the channel. No, I don't think that, no, I don't think that black people should date out. No, I don't. So you might, maybe you're new, maybe you're trying to troll. Khadija, your guess is just as good as mine. Marcus Powell, I've answered that question too many times now, so I'm not going to answer it again. So your Agent One Services said we Hebrew Israelites are not Christians at all. So you're not a Christian, but you read from the same book that the Christians read from, which means you subscribe to the same belief system that the Christians subscribe to, because if you didn't, you wouldn't read from the same book. So this is how remedial Hebrew Israel. Didn't Rob just say something about these Hebrew Israel? Okay, well, whatever. Let's just do it like Rob did. Okay, well, whatever. You're not a Christian. Okay, that's fine. That's what I'm going to start doing to these Hebrew. All my answers to Hebrew Israelites going to be, oh, okay. Okay. Okay, you're not a Christian. You just read from the same book the Christians do. Okay. Oh, okay. Everybody ignore Agent One. Khadija said Rob was looking real daddy-ish tonight. I couldn't deal. We're not going to get into how Rob looks. So we're just not going to do that. Y'all are not going to bait me, so. King Capo, the faceless phantom troll, will never lay eyes on even one strand of my hair. He's lucky he gets to see my eyelashes in my videos, okay? Other than that, that's the closest he'll get to seeing my hair, is seeing my eyelashes. Ty Banks, you need to use proper sentence structure. Network not found said, why Cynthia, what Rob got that I don't? Well, let's just start with a dick. That's one of the things. So that would be one of them. I mean, I think all men have that women don't have. So that would be one of them. Exactly. Ty, leave please before you get blocked. All right, I'm about to get off of here because I actually really do got to get back to the cleaning and doing all this other stuff. Like, it's just so ridiculous. I was at the point to where I was gonna burn down my apartment, but I did so much stuff and got so much stuff out of it Did somebody say, would you let Rob Clapton cheeks? Really, y'all are just vile. The question is, would I tell you even if I did? So y'all are just real, y'all are hypersexual. You need to really, really, you need to look into that. And not everybody is interested in sex with somebody. And I may be one of the ones who is primarily interested in sex with people, but still, that doesn't matter. Why is your mind in the gutter? The question is, why is your mind on sexual things when nobody's thinking sexually but you, because you're hypersexual? Oh, hey, shout out to Milan, to Paris Milan. Paris Milan, your edges are probably causing a lot of trouble in the Black community too. I can imagine. Marquis said, when is V coming back? V is in the deep South right now. So she's in literally the land of Jim Crow. I feel bad for her, but yeah. But yeah, she's in the deep South right now. Network not found. Didn't you say you were a Cancer? Because that might explain your hypersexual, overtly hypersexual nature. Damu90 said, I really wanted to hear that debate. He was corny for that. Well, I haven't seen the playback, and people told me stuff about it. That the thing of it is when you're on the phone, you don't know everything that they're doing. So I don't know everything, but I've heard what people were saying. I haven't watched the playback of it. I might come on here and break it down piece by piece. I might do that, but I don't know. Embarrassing, my edges, my hot dog neck, everything is a problem. Let me tell you, first I'm bald headed, then I have edges. So apparently I just have edges and then no hair anywhere. My weave is a problem. My makeup is a problem. They claim that they claim that my attitude and my talking points are a problem, but they never really address them. So. The Angry Man Channel 2 said Black folks need to be focused on organization, economic empowerment, political prowess, and military warfare, not something as arbitrary as hair. Do I agree? But I mean, can we get people to focus on that though? Because it's like they're focusing a little bit too much on hair. I mean, I agree with you. I wish that we could only focus on that, because then we would be working towards liberation. But when it comes to me, I'll say, at least when it comes to me, and I know when Cheryl was doing it, and it looks like Paris has the same issue. When it comes to me and these other people, hair seems to be the focal point of it. Hair seems to be the focal point. And just have to register for the draft, and no, they don't. Yeah, I really wish we could, though. It would be great if we could get them to focus on that. And even if they had a problem with my talking points, or feel like I am a man hater, if they could address those things, that would be great. But apparently the primary issue that these men have with me is that they have not seen my edges, and they're never going to see my edges. So I don't even know why the people who matter are the only people who are going to see my edges. That's just a reality. Exactly. Marcus Powell said, when you ask people to point out the lie, they throw a temper tantrum. Exactly. They do. They throw a temper tantrum and start talking about hair. When the reality is I wish they would just admit that they're afraid to try. I think they're afraid to approach an intellectual challenge. They're afraid to do that, clearly, because they're not going to win it. They know that they're not going to win it. They know that I will mop the floor with Tariq and Jason Black at the same time. They could literally both team up on me at the same time, and I would still mop the floor with them intellectually, with one of my hands tied behind my back. That's really the reality of what it is. I wholeheartedly believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that they are terrified to even walk into the ring with me. They won't even do it. They're not going to do it. They're just not going to do it. They're not going to. There's more of a chance of a mouse getting into a fight with a lion than Tariq and Jason engaging in an intellectual discourse or challenging anything that I say. There's more of a chance that that would happen. Because really, they would prefer to be disrespected and demeaned by white men than to face me intellectually. That's just a reality. And they know it. And you could, and look, they can front as much as they want to. You already know what it is. You know, you better not even think about approaching any intellectual discourse with me, because you will get beat like a slave. You really will. You will get beat like I will break them like they were breaking bucks on a plantation. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. You will get broken like a plantation buck. Don't even try it. And they already know that, and that's why they talk about hair. Because I know they have Marquise Powell. I said they would prefer to debate a white man and get thoroughly disrespected than to be shown up by someone that's younger than a black woman, than get shown up by a black woman that's younger and smarter than them. They would prefer to get disrespected by a white man on national television than to even come near an intellectual debate with me. They already know what it is. Like I said, they already know what it is. They know what it is. Because if they weren't, they would have already done it. They would have already done it. So, and they, again, and I put that challenge out there, and I stand by it. Any one of them, I don't care who it is, any one of them. If you come over here, you will get broken like a slave on a plantation if you even think that you can approach me with an intellectual debate. I dare you to. And he could be a pimp on MTV. He know not to come over here. He knows to keep it at hair and makeup. I'll just say that. They know to keep it at hair and makeup. Y'all really do know what's up. You can sit there and say, oh, well, I won. Okay, you won, just like white people are winning because with a system of white supremacy. Really? If y'all won, then there is no white supremacy, and black men are being dominated because white men are superior to them. Beautiful said, can we get this set up on pay-per-view? They're not going to do it. They already know better. They already know better, please. They know I will make them both my bitches. Really. They know I'll make them my bitch. Or all over YouTube. Especially if it's on a neutral platform where they can't mute or talk over. Please. If they're on a neutral platform, they won't even agree to that. There's a reason they won't agree to that. And they can sit there and make all these things. I don't debate nobody with my intellectual equal. Okay, well, you're not an intellectual equal to me, and you know that, and that's why you're not going to do it. You could say that because you know you're not my intellectual equal. You know that you're far intellectually inferior to me. That's just a reality. And the bottom line of it is yes, I could say that because you haven't proved it. And when you had the chance to, you started talking about hair and makeup. So just by default, you conceded the minute you talked about hair and makeup when you were challenged intellectually. And again, both of them could come at me at the same time and they will get broken like a plantation buck. Try it. They know it. I know it. Y'all know it. Just nobody's saying it until now. I'm now saying it. They are terrified because they already know the mutual consensus in society is that white men are smarter than black men anyway. They already know that. So they don't care if they go on a Fox News and get disrespected by Tucker Carlson They don't care about that because they already know that society sees black men as inferior to white men anyway. But what they're not going to do is they're not going to be in their 40s and 50s and get shown up and intellectually beat by a black woman in her 30s. That's what they're not going to do. That's what they're not going to do. Because they're literally, their crowd will never let them live it down if they get into an intellectual debate with me and lose, and they know they're going to, so they run and they hide and they talk about edges. If you got to talk about edges to win a debate and mute somebody to win a debate, you've already lost. So y'all little dusty beta male clowns running after trying to suck faceless phantom dick, if y'all want to believe that y'all won something, then believe it. But they already know what's up. They know they better not come over here acting like they want an intellectual debate. They know they better not even hint at addressing any of my talking points. What they will do, they'll go on a video and pretend, but they're not going to do nothing face to face because they will get drugged. And I don't got to talk about your messed up hairline and the fact that you're 50 and the fact that you won't show your face. I don't even got to talk about that to beat you. We can stick to the topics and I will still beat you. The books I referenced the other day was The Destruction of Black Civilization and How to Make a Negro Christian. Yeah, so all of the groupies for the faceless phantom, y'all can run over there and suck his dick all over these streams, but he knows that he don't want it over here with no intellect. That's why when he got challenged to it, he backed down and he diverted to edges. Okay, he couldn't even take the challenge when it was over the phone and when he had the control. That's how weak he is. He was in the controlling position and still couldn't have an intellectual debate where he has the upper hand because he has no intellect. The bottom line of it is that he has no intellect and he already know what it will be. He know he will get whooped, really. That's just a reality of what it is. So if their hairlines ever receded, it will recede all the way to the back of their hair on that day, to the back of their head on that day. They already know what's up. Don't get it twisted. I know what's up. They know what's up. Paris said black people are having the police called on their been slaughtered and they want to spend time arguing with their own women about hair because they're cowardly. They have no testicular fortitude. Chocolate Goddess said they would never debate you if talking about hair and makeup was not an option. Yeah, but the thing of it is do you know how remedial or how intimidated a person has to be of somebody if they won't even engage in an intellectual debate when they have the upper hand? Because all that muting and talking over that he could have did that in an intellectual debate. He could have did that not talking about hair. He could have did that addressing talking points, but he chose not to. Khadija, I'm drinking a Cabernet. Or Tywin, maybe it's because you're attention whoring. That's probably why. It's because you're attention whoring and you're saying stuff that's not even on the topic. So you're making yourself look like a troll. Nikki Woodby said they powerless. Why argue with the women about edges? He sounded so dumb. Because that's all he has. And it's like you can make excuses and say, oh, well, you don't deserve intellect. You wouldn't have intellect to give even if you felt that I deserve it. So shut up and go hide your face like you're doing. Like, really? Because you're hiding your face for a reason. And so it's just a coincidence that he's hiding his face and this so-called intellect that he has. Like, come on now. You're intellectual to a remedial person that belongs on a short bus. How is he 50 talking about macking and beefing with millennials? He's an idiot. And how, look, you got to understand that a lot of these dudes in our community, they're dusty, they're effeminized, they never had a daddy, they don't know how to be a man. And so they sit up here and they cling to anything that may seem like it would be masculine. And so they're not even smart enough to know that talking about hair and makeup isn't a masculine trait. What's the difference between what Jason Black did and that clip of Basketball Wives where Evelyn and Tammy were having an argument? It's like, this ain't Mean Girls YouTube version. Like, really, it's really not. It's like they're acting like those mudslinging housewives that people talk about, where you just sit up and like, well, your edges aren't on point. Well, why don't you get your edges together? Well, why do you got all this weave in? Really? Am I really having this discussion with a man who claims that he's not gay? Alan Jenkins said he turned it off when I heard him say something about edges. Didn't make sense to me. And it's not gonna make sense to any real man. It's not gonna make sense to any man, because really, do you know Jesse Lee Peterson didn't even start talking about hair and edges? I don't like Big J, but Big J at least tries to. Big J, what I can have more respect for Big J, because at least he will try to address the talking points. Big J will actually debate the talking points. Big J never mentioned hair and makeup. When I did that video, Big J kept calling in with the on the Christianity topic. Big J kept calling in. He kept addressing the issues, but he never mentioned hair. Jesse Lee Peterson, the raging coon, never mentioned hair. He at least tried to be intellectual, and Jesse is not intellectual at all. Nobody called up harassing him, dummy. They asked me to call. Like, just stop. It's like, you clearly don't know what you're talking about. Let me just block you. Because anybody who would say something like that is stupid and talking what they don't know. You clearly weren't there, because if you were there, then you would know that they asked me to call, and his dumb self gave me the number to call. Genius. Use what little brain cells you have. Marquis said you come off as rude. Yeah, I don't lie, and I'm not gonna lie on anybody. I'm not gonna lie on anybody. I don't have to lie. I wish I was lying. I wish I was lying about all of these things, and that most black men really were on point, and there really wasn't just a small bunch of them that wanted to do something, and then like an overabundance of dusty beta males. I really wish I was lying about that. Reality says that I'm not. And then there was this idiot on my Twitter feed talking about the problem, with no picture, of course. The problem is that you generalize all black men, and you not differentiating. You saying black men are beta males. No, dummy. Beta males are beta males. Black men are black men. Just because you think black men are dusty beta males don't mean I do. I already know black men are not dusty beta males. Dusty beta males are dusty beta males. And the thing of it is if he didn't feel like he was a dusty beta male, he wouldn't have a problem with it. But I am I'm gonna do a breakdown of it, because again, I haven't seen it, and I know people I get messages and comments from people asking me to address it and talk about what happened or whatever. And I might address it and break down it piece by piece, because I haven't heard it. Again, it's different when you're on the phone. I had no idea I was being muted. I had no idea that I was being muted. So, what was the talking points? How are you addressing those talking points? Well, if you saw it, if you were to go watch it, you would hear me asking him multiple times to address the issues. Because I'm not going to get into it now. I'll get into it in a different video and explain things. I'll get into a different video and explain things, because, yeah. There's a context of it and stuff like that. And I might do one tomorrow or one of these days, in between, and I'll let you guys know what it was about or how it started, or really, Nikki Woodby said, I seen it. He sounds stupid. He kept putting you on mute. Yeah, see, I didn't even know. I didn't even know that. You can't really tell when you're on the phone if someone is muting you. Like, even when I was on Jesse Lee Peterson's thing, I didn't know that I was being muted until I did the playback. I didn't even know on Jesse Lee Peterson's until somebody that was watching it told me that he was muting me. But other than that, I didn't even know Jesse Lee Peterson was doing it. Tatiana said real men and Dusty, they're different. Exactly. And the thing of it is really, I spend more time putting out disclaimers than I should have to. Pro Black says, Sam, do you honestly feel like Jason Black hates Black women in general? Because that's how I feel. I don't feel anything for a Faceless Phantom, and I don't watch his content like that. So I couldn't tell you if I think that he hates Black women. I honestly, contrary to what people may believe, I don't watch his content. I'll tell you guys what made me watch the live stream that day. I'll tell you what made you guys, I'll let you guys know in the video that I do. I'll explain everything about why I was even in, how I even saw his live stream and why I was even there. So I'll let you guys know that. But I'm about to I'll probably do it tomorrow or something. But I'm going to get off of here because I have a lot of more cleaning and packing to do. The movers are coming on Sunday to get my stuff, and I need to make sure. Let me just get this idiot out of here. And there's just so many dusty beta males. Like, their obsession, they really need to do something about their obsession, really. Because I don't know nobody that claims to not like people, but is always in their chat room. The reality is these dusty beta males do like me. They don't like that I don't like them. That's why they keep trolling. They keep trolling because they see somebody they like that they will want to be with, and they're interpreting it as rejection because they're looking at my message. They know that they fit that category, and they're seeing it as rejection. So they're seeing this is the person that I will want and that I will want to be with and who I will want to be attracted to me. And because of this narrative about dusty beta male behavior that I engage in, she doesn't like me. That's the reality. Like, whenever they say, oh, you're just bitter and you hate Black men, what they really mean is I'm bitter because I like you, but I think you don't like me. That's really what it is. That's really what it is. And really, they could simply just change the dusty behavior and then somebody will like them. I'm about to block you because you're getting on my nerves, Ty Wynn. Like, stop whining and complaining. Nobody cares. Like, chill out, and then maybe people will stop blocking you. Like, annoying. Like, stop being a fruit fly. Like, what the hell? He's being a fruit fly is what he is. And really nobody has time for it. And the thing of it is I don't even care if he's Asian. I just care about the fact that why are you being so annoying? Like you're acting like a fruit fly. Nobody has time for it. Anyway, I'm getting off of here because I have to pack. Tomorrow I'll probably do the live stream breaking it down. I'll let you guys know. If I do, what you'll do is you will see. I'll schedule it like a few hours before, so you guys will see it. But I'll probably do it tomorrow. Just in between, and I'm gonna get some new some Patreon content too. I was out, like, you guys just don't even understand how much stuff I have to do because I have no help. I literally have no help. And then I was out of my car until today because I had to put my car in the shop. Had to pay over $700 to get it out. So I've just been running around, and that's why I haven't got content out. But I'm going to get some Patreon videos out tomorrow. I'm going to get some out. And then I'm probably going to do the live stream, and I'll schedule it. But thank you guys so much. It was a fun discussion. I laughed a lot. So thanks for everybody who contributed to the humor. I definitely had fun. And on the live stream that I do, breaking down the I wouldn't even call it a debate. I would call it more of a shit show with somebody that's scared to address me intellectually because they know they have no intellect in comparison to mine. So I'll come on here and we'll do that. But there will be some do y'all know, my sister, sidebar, my sister said there's a video where this Asian woman was asking this man for roadkill so that she could take it into a restaurant. And I'm just like, what the hell? And so I'm going to find out what she was talking about. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much. I had to get back to some packing, and I will see you guys tomorrow.